Have you ever walked into a room full of strangers, felt a pair of eyes land on you, and suddenly, poof, every English word you ever learned just disappears? Your heart beats a little faster, your palms get sweaty, and when someone asks, "So, tell me about yourself," the only thing you can remember is your name? Well, don't worry. You are not alone. And today, we are going to make sure that never happens again. We are going to give you the keys to speak about your life with confidence, humor, and perfect clarity. Welcome to the Focus English podcast.
Oh, Isabella, you just described my entire life. That happened to me yesterday at the supermarket. A neighbor asked me what I've been up to, and I just said yes. Just yes. It wasn't even a yes or no question.
It happens to the best of us, Henry. But that is why we are here. Today's topic is how to talk about yourself. It sounds simple, but it's actually an art. We're going to focus on six very important areas: introduction, hometown, occupation, hobbies, interests, and background.
I need this. I have my coffee ready, my notebook is open, and I am ready to stop saying yes to everything.
Perfect. Let's start by jumping into a real life situation. Imagine we're at a meet and greet event. This is a place where people go specifically to meet new friends. You've just walked in, you have a drink in your hand, and you see me standing by the window.
Okay, I'm walking up to you. I'm smiling. I hope I don't spill my drink. Hello. Hi there. I'm Henry.
Hi, Henry. I'm Isabella. It's nice to meet you. Is this your first time at one of these events?
Yes, it is. I'm coming from the house? No, that's not right. I am living here, but I'm from another place.
Oh, are you not from around here? Where is your home?
My home is, well, I was born in a small village, but now I stay in the city. I work for a big company. I am a computer guy. I do things with screens.
A computer guy. That sounds interesting. What do you like to do when you aren't working with screens?
I like, uh, I like the football and I like to eat the pizza. Also, I have a history of studying music.
You have a history of music. That's fascinating. Do you play an instrument?
I did play the guitar, but now I'm just watching it on the wall.
Okay, Henry. Let's pause right there. You did a great job. You were friendly and you kept the conversation going. But we can make your English sound much more natural and smooth.
I felt like a robot, Isabella. I am the computer guy. I eat the pizza. It sounds so basic.
It's a great start, but let's look at our first key word, introduction. When you met me, you said, "I am Henry." That is perfectly fine, but often, in a casual setting, we use contractions. Instead of "I am," try "I'm."
I'm Henry.
Exactly. It sounds more relaxed. And when I asked if it was your first time, you said, "I am coming from the house." That was a bit confusing. You probably wanted to talk about our second keyword, hometown.
Yes, I wanted to say where I grew up.
To talk about your hometown, you can say, "I'm originally from," or "I grew up in." Try that.
I'm originally from a small village, but I grew up near the mountains. Is that better?
Much better. Originally from tells me where you were born, even if you don't live there now. Now let's look at the third keyword, occupation. You said you are a computer guy.
It was the only word I could find. My brain just stopped.
We've all been there. Instead of computer guy, you could say, "I work in IT," or "I'm a software developer," or even just "I work with computers." A very common way to ask this is, what do you do for a living?
Oh, what do you do for a living? I've heard that. So I should say I work as a programmer.
Perfect. I work as a is the magic phrase for your occupation. Now, what about what you do for fun? Our fourth and fifth keywords are hobbies and interests. You said, I like the football, and I like to eat the pizza.
Is that wrong? I really do like pizza.
It's not wrong, but in English, we usually don't use the before general things like football or pizza. You should say, I like football, or I'm a big fan of football. And for pizza, you could say, I'm a bit of a foodie. I love trying new pizza places.
I'm a bit of a foodie. I like that. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about. What is the difference between a hobby and an interest, Isabella?
That's a great question, Henry. A hobby is usually an activity you do regularly, like playing guitar or gardening. An interest is something you like to learn about or follow, like history, space, or fashion.
So, playing guitar is my hobby, but listening to jazz is my interest.
Spot on. And finally, let's look at background. You said you have a history of studying music. That sounds a bit like a medical report.
Oh no, I don't want to sound like a doctor's note.
For your background, which means your past experiences or education, you can say, I have a background in, or I studied in university. For example, I have a background in music, or I used to play the guitar quite seriously.
I used to play the guitar. That sounds much more natural. Thank you, Isabella. My notebook is getting very full.
Now, let's practice. I'm going to play the role of a host at a party, and I'm going to ask you questions. I want you and all our listeners at home to repeat the phrases after I say them. Henry, you go first, and listeners, you follow Henry. Ready?
Ready?
Hi, I don't think we've met. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Henry. Nice to meet you.
Now you try. Say, hi, I'm your name. Nice to meet you. So, Henry, tell me, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from a small town in the countryside.
Your turn. Say, I'm originally from, and then add your town. And what do you do for a living?
I work as a software developer. It keeps me busy.
Now you. Say, I work as a, and then add your job. If you are a student, say, I'm a student, I'm studying, your subject. That sounds interesting. What do you like to do in your free time?
I'm a big fan of hiking, and I love cooking for my friends.
Repeat this. I'm a big fan of, or I really enjoy, and add your hobby. Last one. Do you have any interesting hobbies or a background in something we wouldn't expect?
Actually, I have a background in music. I used to play the guitar.
Your turn. Try saying, I have a background in, and mention something you studied or did in the past. Now, Henry, let's talk about a problem scenario. What happens if someone asks you a question and you don't know the English word for your job or your hobby? This happens to everyone.
This is my nightmare. I usually just stand there and make a weird face.
Don't make a weird face. Instead, use description phrases. If you forget the word for pharmacist, don't panic. You can say, I work in a shop that sells medicine. I'm the person who gives the medicine to the people.
Oh, so I describe the job.
Exactly. Or if you forget the word for knitting, you can say, I like to make clothes with my hands, using wool and two long sticks.
Two long sticks. That's funny, but the other person will definitely know what I mean.
Precisely. And what if someone talks too fast? Henry, what do you do then?
I usually just nod and say yes, which we already know is a bad idea.
Right. Instead of just nodding, you should say, I'm sorry, could you say that again a bit slower? Or, I'm still learning English. What does that word mean? People are usually very happy to help.
Is it okay to say I don't understand? I feel ashamed sometimes.
Never feel ashamed. Saying, I don't understand, shows that you are listening and that you care about the conversation. It is much better than pretending to understand and then having no idea how to answer.
That makes me feel much better. So if I get stuck, I describe the word or I just ask for help.
You got it. Let's try one. Henry, I'm going to ask you about a hobby, but I want you to pretend you forgot the word for swimming. How do you explain it?
In my free time, I like to go to the big blue place with water, and I move my arms and legs to stay on top of the water.
Perfect. I would say, oh, you mean swimming, and the conversation continues. No stress. We have covered a lot today, Henry. Let's do a quick recap of our 6 essential keywords for talking about yourself.
Okay, let me see if I remember. Introduction, use I'm instead of I am to sound more natural. Hometown, use I'm originally from to talk about where you were born. Occupation, use I work as or I work in to describe your job. Hobbies, these are things you do, like I'm a big fan of football. Interests, these are things you like or study, like I'm interested in history. Background, use I have a background in to talk about your past or your education.
Excellent, Henry. You are a star student. Remember, listeners, the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be understood and to connect with people.
And not to say yes when someone asks you where you live.
Exactly. If you can use these 6 key words, you will have a solid foundation for any conversation. You'll be able to tell your story, share your passions, and make new friends with ease.
This was so helpful, Isabella. I feel much more confident now. I might even go back to that supermarket and find that neighbor.
Go for it, Henry. But before we go, we have our question of the day for all of you listening.
Yes, we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments, what is one hobby you have that makes you happy? Use the phrase, I'm a big fan of, or I really enjoy.
We can't wait to read your answers and get to know you a little better. Thank you for joining us today on Focus English.
Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you enjoyed the show. It helps other learners find us.
Have a wonderful day. Keep practicing, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone. I'm off to practice my foodie lines at the pizza shop.
Enjoy your pizza, Henry. Bye-bye.